Jürgen, what are your thoughts on the game and the way that it panned out?
Very difficult game for different reasons. So Aston Villa obviously good organised, made it really tricky for us. They wanted to have counter-attack, stuff like that. The wind made it tricky for both teams, but obviously it was really hard today to play normal football. But we had just to stay on track and have to do the right things more and more. And especially in the second half already, we had more of the good moments when the positioning was slightly better and all that stuff. So we made 3 changes in decisive areas, which was important, I think, from a physical point of view. And so you could see we needed a little bit to get used to it, but then. Last 20-25 minutes, the goals we scored, we could have scored a similar goal already earlier. Sadio was in a situation where when he makes a step, he's already there. I think 2 situations which could or should have been penalties on Mo. We got a penalty for arms and stuff like this against Man City, and today you don't give these penalties where the people do exactly the same. So that's a bit. Unlucky, but all the rest, I'm completely fine. We are where we are because we won the difficult games, and tonight it was again a difficult one, but we won it.
What were you looking to change specifically when you made the triple sub?
Oh no, we were already then the position was better, but we just wanted to bring then the fresher players then on in this position. So you could see for Fabinho it was really hard today, so to go through that so then Hendo on 6 and having then Naby next to him and Gini slightly higher. Plus then Bobby in that really decisive area, which helped obviously. Which Aston Villa was used to more or less Divock in a position. We wanted him to be higher. Divock, we didn't want to he drops so as much as Bobby usually is doing, and so that's why we changed a little bit during the game already. That Sadio came on that position. It felt more natural. So these are the things we tried, and that was when the 3 players who play these positions usually came on. That helped, of course.
2 very different goal scorers as well. A serial goal scorer in Sadio Mane, and a lovely moment for young Curtis Jones' first ever Premier League goal.
Yeah, but what Curtis had a lot of qualities, obviously, but that he is in this position. So he comes on. The first situation is a dribbling and a finish, which I like. There's no lack of confidence. And then the next situation, it's a cross. It's with the wind, not a perfect cross, but more. Made it happen that the ball comes inside again, and then he's from a position 8 is in the 6-yard box pretty much. So that's his strength. He wants to be there. He wants to be decisive, and that's really good. So he deserves the goal. He deserves the appearance and the game. So I'm really happy for him. When it's 0-0, I don't think we have to win it because of the record. I want 3 points. That's all what I want. And we can see how exceptional the last season was, for example, with 97 points to get there. Even now with 89, which is obviously an exceptional mark as well. We need to get 8 points still to have only the points started from last year. So we don't think about these things. There are 3 points to get, and it's difficult enough. Brighton is fighting for the league, on a good position now, probably. A bit relieved maybe if they do something against us, they could pretty much already make sure that they stay in the league and all that stuff. So we need to be ready for this game. And today, Aston Villa was fighting with all they had and tried to get here and there an attack and maybe a finish. And that makes life uncomfortable. So I like it. It was not a brilliant performance, but it was a good performance which earned us 3 points.
Thanks, Jürgen.
Welcome.
89 points. Can you see them getting to the 100 mark and even going past Manchester City, 101?
And they're not quite at it, but yeah. I mean, it comes back to who they're going to be playing in that period. They're not quite at it, and as good as they are, no, as great as they are, and you have to say they've been great for 2 years. I'll come back to it. If you're just not...
Sadio, in the end, it was a comfortable 2-0 victory at the end, but how hard did you have to work for it?
Yeah, obviously it was not easy for us. And today it was a little bit windy and the pitch was dry, first of all, the first half, but yeah. I think the second half we react good and as a team. And the mentality was right, and we pushed as a team until the end. And we create so many chances, some chances, and finally we scored 2 goals. I think, Even it was not an easy game, but at least we deserve these 3 points.
Did you just have to keep doing what you were doing and be patient?
Yeah, honestly, I think sometimes you can't expect always to even you playing home to score 5 or 4-0. It's a good opponent. Even the situation was not it's complicated for them, but there was well organized and they defend properly. And for sure, we've been playing passion and to push until the end. And finally, when the gap opened, and finally we scored the 2 goals. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
What is it about you and Aston Villa? 6 appearances, 6 goals.
Well, I think it's lucky team for me. Always I'm scoring, and yeah, I'm just happy about it. And hopefully they'll stay, and I will score more goals next season for the team and get more 3 points against them.
As you know, there are still a number of records that Liverpool could break this season. The manager says he's not interested in them, 100 points plus, etc. What about the players?
Yeah, I think right now for us, the more important for us is to win games. And then after you can think about the record. But if you think about record and not winning the game, I think it's problem. So for now, I think we have some important game. We're going to try to take game by game. And for sure, we want to win all of them. But it won't be easy. But yeah, that's it. That's why we that is Premier League. Always difficult.
Thanks, Elio. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
For that moment of real quality from a team that we've seen it so much from this season.
It's a bit of lack of concentration and a bit the up to tempo. We talked about the final ball in the last third. Grit snaps it in. Keita gets out of his feet and Mane times it perfectly. I mean, I think maybe the full back could he do better. Mings do better. Could Taylor do better? But let's just enjoy the quality. You know, there were 3 smart passes, all crisp. You know, here, deal with that. You know, all sharp passes in the last third. And I think that's what is missing from Liverpool, you know, at this time. They try to do it right. They try to be, you know, up to the normal pace of things. But when they get into the last third, well, for the most of the game it was missing, but on a couple of occasions it wasn't. And then that's when they got their goals.
Something I wanted to raise with you was the position of Trent Alexander-Arnold in the build-up to the goal. We do see this from him, and we have to remember he's a right back, he's an exceptionally talented one. But here he is, 66, picking up in a very central position, Emile, and forcing that real incisive play. Could that be a position where we see him more often, and even in some ways be more of a creative force for Liverpool than he already is?
He was a midfielder before, wasn't he? So he's used to being in that position. He understands about playing the ball forward. I think, Graham, you talked about where you're snapping balls in. Before it was very sloppy, but he was very, very precise with that ball, making sure it's getting through. But yeah, he has played in that position before, so he understands that about being in that position. But again, even this season at right back, you've seen him tuck in and really playing them penetrating passes.
The best teams do play like that. You know, you encourage them. They're all good on the ball, all good footballers. You know, if you see the opening, go and join in it. Because you've got, I'm going to say number 2 on the back, in this case 66. But if you've got full-backs that are good and can join in, go and play in midfield. City do the exact same. All the top teams do it. You encourage them. And what happens round about them if they step out of the defensive position?
Thinking about the fact that we have done in the last couple of years, that there hasn't been a really creative player in that central area for Liverpool.
I think the boy could play anywhere in midfield. I mean, he started as I think a central midfield player, and then saw an opening at right back. I mean, you'd be reluctant to take him away from where he is, because a large part of Liverpool's attacking play comes from both him and Robertson, with their high energy levels, you know, and when they get into the last third, they can deliver. I think Liverpool's second goal came from Robertson on the left-hand side. So when they get there, they can deliver. And I'd be reluctant to change it. I mean, I don't know what he's got coming through in these young boys, but looking at it, you know, you've just won the league. You are the current European champions and World Club champions. You know, if it ain't broken, why try and fix it?
You're always talking about you've got to improve. You've got to improve the top.
I'm not saying it's impossible. Are you talking about, is it Curtis Jones?
Well, there's Nico Williams as well,
who's
the
the full back?
right back. That's the one I'm talking about. You see him there, 6 foot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I've not seen that boy play. I mean, why not? Because they do so well, because Trent does so well at full-back, why not try him as in the forward one in the midfield position? I mean, the modern player today, the modern defender today has to be able to take the ball at the highest clubs, has to take the ball, be able to play a 1-2, you know, deliver in the final third. So, yeah, why not?
What do you think, Emil?
If you was to ask him, he'd be happy, more than happy to play midfield, because that is, I would say, he would probably say that's his natural position. But having done what he's done in the last few years at right back, I don't think
does he get more space in the wider areas?
Yes.
Do you think, to affect it?
Yeah, 100%. And then you see the passing range that he has. But that passing range obviously has been built up over years, being central midfield. But now he's got more time to do so at right back, and then his decision making is probably from having less time in central midfield. So he's had to really be aware of what he's got around him.
Different game in there.
Yeah.
You know, that really is your
awareness has got to be
bullets
there.
in there. You know, elbows are up and challenges where if he's full back, he knows nothing. Right back, he knows nothing's coming here when I receive the ball. It's just about that there. That's what I've got to worry about. It's a different position, and he got plenty of time in there. First touch, get it out of your feet, get your head up, and then he's as good as anyone out there when he gets a chance to deliver.
Well, there are good young ones coming through. We talked about Nico Williams, Harvey Elliott's been talked about, and then we see that lovely little cameo from Curtis Jones, involved in the build-up to his own goal here as well.
Yeah, he's one-touch and two-touch play. Keep always moving, always showing, and then this touch to drag him away from Douglas. And then keep moving with the ball and driving. We haven't seen that much from them.
The cross goes over his head, Emil. He just takes a few steps back here. Is that something that's coached, or is that instinctive play?
That's instinctive. Again, driving with the ball. But when you see someone who can actually either bring the ball down, but you've always got to make an angle for him. If he stays in there, you won't be able to find him. But he drops back, nice cushioned header back, and a good finish.
What about having the confidence at 19, Graham, to come into a senior team like this? The champions. He's already had one shot before this.
He's not fazed by it. OK, there's no crowd there, but he's not fazed by it. He'll be training every day with these guys, and that'll make him better and better. You know, thinking quicker, first touch better, moving the ball quicker. Totally instinctive. He's thinking, I can get on the end of Andy Robertson's cross here. Wait a minute, it's going too high. He knows where Salah is, so he's already stepped in. Totally instinctive. He's thinking, I can get on the end of Andy Robertson's cross here. Wait a minute, it's going too high. He knows where Salah is, so he's already stepping back, and then he has to adjust his feet to get his volley off. Gets a bit of luck, it takes a deflection on the way in. But no, you can see he's going to be a player. When you look at young players like that, you're thinking, what will stop them being really good players? First thing, God forbid, any of them get any bad injury that would prevent them fulfilling their potential, or they're not at the right club, they're not mixing with the right professionals, so they end up being allowed to get the big head on their shoulders when they've done nothing in the game. I don't see that happening at Liverpool. Liverpool's never been a football. Liverpool is not a city where you're allowed to do that. It's not a city where you can allow to get the big head on your shoulder. You're soon brought down to earth.
We had a little discussion about Jack Grealish before the game, and there was a difference of opinion as to what he is now and what he might be. What did you think of his influence on the game today, Emil?
Yeah, he huffed and puffed. He had a couple of chances where I think Alisson made a really good save from him. But again, they use him to get a lot of their work going. And it was just a difficult day for him, a difficult day for Villa, because a lot of the times it was defending. But again, once they're defending really solid, can they break? And then they did it a little bit. They did it better in the first half than they did in the second, but still created a few chances in the second half.
Do you see glimpses?
There's no doubt he has genuine quality. It's just how you think he's ready to go to a bigger team, and in a bigger team he wouldn't have to take so many touches, because people will be showing for the ball and making better movement for him. I'm not so sure. I think, what can I say? We won't know until or if that should happen. He has got qualities, but I'm trying to think how. See, at the top teams today, do Liverpool carry any passengers when they don't have the ball? No. So, we're Man City, definitely not. No one has anyone who is standing with their hands on their hips when you lose the ball. Everyone has to get the sleeves rolled up and press, or be the second one to press, or the third one to press. That's something that's not in his game right now.
Is that fair, Emil?
When Liverpool give the ball away, within 3 passes, they try and get it back straight away. Whereas Villa, they will drop back into a certain and just keep a certain shape and be very solid. So I'm guessing it's just the tactics that were maybe that they're playing at.
Are you related to him?
He's a proper
I'm
Villa
not denying
lad.
his talent, but for me, there's a big question mark.
Well, he's got to find some inspiration from somewhere because Villa have